good afternoon, South Georgia, and thanks so much for joining us on WALB News Now. I'm Riley Armand, and today I am joined by the amazing Dr. Samara Sterling, the Director of Veggies and Soul and Healthy Life Albany. Dr. Sterling, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me.
Yes, of course. Thanks so much for joining me today. And as you know, offline, just on such short notice. Thank you so much. Again, I'm very grateful. And so I want to get into the event that's happening on Saturday. It's the Good Life Family Health Fest. Tell me more about the inspiration behind the event.
So, the inspiration behind this event really came from looking at the community and what we have available to us, and also some of the ailments that we have. A lot of times when I go out and I speak with individuals, I hear many stories that are just so heartbreaking about chronic diseases that have followed them for generations within their families, and people feel like there's nothing they can do.
Right.
And so what I wanted us to do as a team was to sort of bring together the community as well as community organizations around this theme of what's called lifestyle medicine. Lifestyle medicine is a branch of medicine that looks at preventive approaches. So in other words, what steps can I take to reduce my risk for many of these chronic diseases so that I can take my health into my hands? Of course, there's some things that we cannot control, but what are the things that we can control? And so this fest that will be happening on Saturday will sort of look at some of those areas, such as nutrition, including more plants on our tables, right? Physical activity, getting proper rest, chronic stress, even things like massage will be there. And so we want to look at the holistic nature of who we are and how we can help ourselves be healthier.
Okay, and I heard we were talking offline, and you mentioned that there were going to be some live demonstrations, and it's going to be from La Luna Cantina. Can you speak a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so that's one of the things that we wanted to do as well, because another question people have is, well, if I do want to eat healthier, how do I do it? Right? So we are really excited. La Luna is going to be a part of this event. They will have a taco station, so you can come by and you can get your veggie tacos there. They're really good. And then at the same time, they'll also be doing a cooking demonstration to show us how we can incorporate more plants in our plates in not just a healthy way, but a tasty way as well.
That is awesome. Now, what's going to be available for the families to enjoy at the festival?
So there's, and I just want to mention free. Okay? There's a lot of free stuff. Free food, free smoothies, even for children as they're going back to school. Back to school supplies will be given out, free games and activities, even door prizes as well. And word on the street is that Slutty Vegan from Atlanta is also going to be there. They're very popular plant-based truck in our area, a restaurant in our area. And so they're really excited to come down and share this day with us. So again, free. You can't really go wrong with coming out on Saturday.
I was about to say, the free thing is always the biggest attractor for a lot of people here. They're looking for free fun in the summer. This sounds like it's going to be a very fun event as well. Now, I want to get into more of like the lifestyle medicine, I think you called it as well, and how people can implement that in their daily lives.
Well, let me just mention this statistic. A lot of people get surprised by this, but scientific research shows that 80% of all heart disease could be eliminated, 80%, by just lifestyle measures. When I say lifestyle medicine, I am talking about those things that we can control. I'm talking about things like nutrition, exercise, drinking enough water, getting enough rest, getting sunshine, which we're going to be out in the open air. Those types of things that when we are in our busy day-to-day lives, we tend to forget. So how can we incorporate them? Well, one of the things that I like to mention when it comes on to nutrition, fill half of your plate with fruits and vegetables. That's half the way there. And that's a big deal in terms of promoting our healthy bodies. We don't think about it often, especially when we're getting maybe a lot of fast food or processed foods. If you fill your plates with half fruits and vegetables, you go a long way. Physical activity, how can we incorporate that? Well, physical activity for busy people can just look like parking farther when you're at the grocery store so that you get more steps in, not parking very closely. when you're on the phone in your home,
Right.
walking around, when you're singing, when you're watching TV, so that we're not living sedentary lives. So
Right.
tips like that, these are some of the tips that you'll learn while you're at the fest as well.
I think this is very timely for, kids going back to school and, with trying to implement more of a healthy lifestyle while still trying to balance the other parts of your life. Is that another focus for this event as well?
Of course, I think for students as well as busy professionals who are going to be at the fair, we're talking simple, effective approaches. And you mentioned children. One of the fun things about children is that they'll be able to have fun while they are learning.
Right.
So we're even going to have a dentist here, a good friend of mine,
Okay.
Dr. Popo Zimba. She's going to be there doing free cleanings for children or whatever she does. Don't quote me on it, but visit her booth.
Right.
We're going to have games for children for them to enjoy. And it's all designed to help to impact the learning process so that, it's something that we can teach our children from the time that they are young, and it's something that will follow them throughout their lives.
Okay. And what are some of the other things that we can get into? Those are very great tips. What are some of the other things that we can get into? And what's probably going to be one of the biggest takeaways from the Health Fest?
One of the biggest takeaways I think that you'll get from the Health Fest is just how much is under our control. So we're also going to have farm stands there, so produce stands. So you'll be able to have some fresh food. A watermelon station will be there. So one of the biggest things that you'll get is that it's not as hard as our minds may think it is. So getting physical activity is not this grand thing that we have to conquer. It can be easy steps that we can take. And I think that's the main thing. We want to make this easy and accessible for people because as we know, a lot of times when it comes on to taking control of our health, many of us feel like that's not accessible.
Right.
And that's the biggest takeaway we want for people to take away is this is accessible. I can do this.
Right. That's right. That's some really great tips. That's a great way to change your mindset about things that you may be a little discouraged about as well. And so I know that this was not just an alone thing. I know you had like a lot of help from the community. Can you speak a little bit more about who's going to be there in terms of other folks in the community as well?
Definitely, and I'm so glad you asked that because there is an African proverb that says, I can go fast alone, but we can go farther together. And I will just say this is something that could not be done by any one person.
Right.
We are so grateful that we've had the support and partnership of many community organizations such as Sowega Rising is a community partner, and then we also have sponsors like Drawdown Georgia is a sponsor, Kroger is a sponsor, American Cancer Society, the Department of Public Health, CareSource, the City of Albany, all of those that are listed there on the flyer. Goya is a sponsor as well, and so I'm really excited because one of my visions for this was that this would be a community event, that we can all call it our own. And to be able to see everyone kind of rally behind that vision, I think is something that's very special.
Awesome. And then one last question. When is it? Where is it? How can they join and how can they sign up for this event? Is there a sign up process for the event also?
So let me say the date first. If you have anything going on Saturday, July 29, you might reroute yourself to 1100 North Jordan Street, and that's the C.W. Heath Park. On Saturday, July 29, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., that is where we will be. Bring your lawn chairs, bring your umbrellas, whatever you like to make yourself comfortable, your fans. There will be live music, a band there. There will be, again, fitness demonstrations, cooking demonstrations, so you can come as well. As far as the sign-up process, we invite you to visit us on Facebook. You can visit Healthy Life Albany on Facebook or Veggie and Soul on Facebook, and there you'll see a link to pre-register for the event. We encourage you to pre-register to kind of save some time in line as you're there, because you will have to register once you get there. But we're looking forward to seeing as many people out as possible.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me once again. This was really great, really informative as well.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Well, don't go anywhere, folks. We will be right back for First News at 4. Stay tuned then, and until then, see you next time.